Toonami Studios. Batman 101. We're starting a new era of Batman. We'll see how long it lasts because come January we're jumping into Future State. But hey, we can get a couple of cool stories out before we relaunch everything, and I think that's a really fun thing to do. I seriously enjoyed this story. We just got off of Joker War and the Grand Designs. We needed something to kind of reboot Batman a little bit. He no longer has his money. He doesn't want to stay at the mansion anymore. So now it's just like, let's take this issue to set up the new status quo. We open up where Bruce is kind of reminiscing about the old Gotham, how it used to be, how he'd be flying around with Dick or Tim or Jason, and they'd be talking to Commissioner Gordon, and they'd see the bat signal, and they just go to work. And now we are in the modern day where he's talking to Selina about how he has to find a way to become a new Batman. And part of that is he has to go talk to Lucius Fox. So we get some great stuff there. Grifter makes an appearance here. Of course, we were teased this a long time ago. Not the angle I thought they were going to be taking with Grifter. Not that that's a bad thing, having him show up. I'm on board. I like Grifter. Cool character for the most part. He is hired as Lucius's, just kind of bodyguard, for lack of a better term, just someone to keep him safe, because as Lucius says, the city's in shit, and it's mainly your fault, Bruce, but whatever, we'll get past it. So they go inside this new area, and we just see there's a lot of discussions going about this new era of what to go forward with Batman. Bruce kind of apologizes for everything that happened to Lucius, not that it matters. And we just kind of get references to some stuff that happened previous to this. The Joker's still out there. Punchline's locked up, but people are starting to see her online video and be persuaded to her side. Some more stuff with the Clown Hunter being a character and how he's going to play a role in something maybe sometime. We'll see what happens. But it's also just a bunch of here's the new status quo going forward for Batman. And I think it's a really cool angle that they were taking with it. So it's kind of just like this. He no longer has the money. There's this idea being in place that the board at Wayne Enterprises is willing to buy out Bruce. He gets some annual, money from the company, but he no longer be on the board. With that saying, the government would be up his ass, so he can no longer use his expenditures or his money to finance Batman. So we'd have to find a different way to control his money and to be a Batman, which is a cool angle because it's we haven't really done this story where Batman hasn't used his money before, but now he doesn't really have any, so let's see what we can build from that idea of the character. Perhaps it'd be something cool. If it's not, we'll move past it when the reboot comes along. And it's just interesting. I really did enjoy that. We also find out that Lucius is going to bring his kids on board. Tamara, I think is her name. And Luke is coming, and we've been teasing that Luke is going to be the next Batman, so we'll have to wait and see if that's going to play any role in this, or we're just going to see that in Future State. But if it's not, I think it's kind of cool that they're just kind of slowly setting up Luke as a character before we get into Future State. That's something very enjoyable. I like it too. This Batman just seems a little more relaxed. He's just come to terms with his situation, because Joker War really did a number on him, and I think this is just kind of him yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have the money back. You can keep it. Help your family. I'll figure out some shit on my own. It's not a big deal. And I thought that was a really cool just moment for his character because, yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal to him. He's got enough going on in his life where he's not going to worry about this right now. And I think that was really cool. Kind of leaves, he has another moment where he's just talking to Grifter. Just hey, no hard feeling. Just think of it like sparring. And I thought it was just cool. Have Grifter in here. He says something to Grifter tell your boss I know what Halo is, and that if something's happening, I'm always watching. Which I think Halo is going to have something to do with the new Batman, so we'll have to wait and see what that's going to be like. And then we get some conversation with Bruce and Selina, which again, I liked this. I thought it was a really nice moment that these two had, where he's just saying, I'm not going to live in the mansion. Alfred's not there. It's empty. I've lived there my whole life, and it just feels wrong to go back there. I own a brownstone downtown. I'll move in there. I'll start over and figure out my life there. And it's just kind of I'm sorry, Selina. I want to help you. I've always wanted to help you. And when I had money, when I had everything in the world, I could protect you because I could take you to these high social events and everyone just forget about your crimes because you're so cool. But now I can't do that and I don't know what to do. And I kind of like that she's just yeah, I get it. No, they're not fighting or yelling at each other, which I'm just thank God they're not doing that, because I'm just be tired of it. I don't want to hear these two fighting anymore. I just want them to either be together or not, And I think just having that moment where it's like, yeah, okay, I'm going to give you 1 year, Bruce, to figure it out. I'll deal with my demons, you deal with yours. In 1 year, if we're figured everything out and we're happy, then we'll get serious about this relationship. I like that a lot. Because that could be like, we'll do 12 months and 12 issues where we're kind of setting up. And then maybe in 2022, we'll come back together and we'll actually get married or something. And I'm like, fun. That's a cool idea. I like that a lot. So they just kind of say their goodbyes. They kiss, of course, because they're romantic. And I like, it's just fun. I don't think this means we're not going to see Catwoman in any future books. I just think it means, yeah, they're going to figure out their own shit. Catwoman's got her own ongoing right now. Batman, of course, has his own ongoing. They're just dealing with their stuff, and they're going to come to terms with it eventually, and I think that's really cool. So it's a bi-monthly book, so we are in the middle of October, so maybe we got 5 more issues before we jump into Future State. I'm not really sure the direction of this. We're probably going to get the Ghostmaker arc and maybe a smaller one. We'll have to see what happens, but this was a fun issue just to set up the status quo. It's not action heavy, and I think that's important. It's just Batman doesn't have the money. He's going to be leaner and tougher. If he has to fix his own car, he will, and it's very enjoyable in that regard. Like, it's just everything you want to set up the status quo for this character, and that's what it's doing. Overall, it's enjoyable, a fun little book to set us into the next arc, just one of those filler ones that I think was very mandatory, and it brings Grifter back, so how can you complain about that? So, Batman issue 101, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. And thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next video. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.